Hello everyone. So we are live today. We'll just wait audience to join in. As in how you join, please say hi so that we know who all are joining. I would like to welcome each and every one of you for this amazing live session. I would also like to thank the school authorities and whoever is working on this, especially Utpala and Pooja, who's been coordinating this event with me. They've really worked hard for you guys. So thank you so much, Pooja and Utpala, for organizing this session. And I would also like to say a heartfelt thank you to National Public School BSK branch for considering me as a guest speaker for this lovely live session that we're going to have now. So we'll just wait for 2 minutes more for more people to join in, and then we would be starting. I hope all of you can hear me properly. Hello to everybody who's saying hi to me. Can one of you just give me a thumbs up? Am I audible? Okay, great, thanks. So I think just 2 more minutes and we will start. I'm sure everybody must be having your own queries and questions, because child nutrition is something that we all need to focus on. So I will be discussing all your queries and questions once the session and my talk is over. Also, you all will be receiving an e-book with a recipe, with lots of recipes, healthy recipes and nutritious recipes, which you can use it in breakfast, snacks, and also in your kids' tiffin. And you can give it to your kids, those recipes. They are tried and tested, and I've personally created those recipes. I give it to my daughter also, because my daughter is 2.5 now, and so I'm sure the recipe booklet will be really useful for you. So once the session is over, you will get an e-book from the authorities. Okay, so I think let's start. Also, I would like to tell you one thing, that once the session is over, and I'm sure if somebody have missed it, or if you want to re-listen the session, or you want to gain more information out of it, and you want to refer to some of these things, you can go in the section wherein the videos are saved on NPS BSK branch Instagram page, and you can refer to this live video again. After the video is over, I'll be saving the video for the page, and then you can always go back and listen to this video again. So before we start the session, let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Shivani Lodha. I am a Ph.D. in food and nutrition, and my specialization is child nutrition. I love working with kids. I'm also a registered dietitian. I run a page called Nourish Your Kids on Instagram, and that is how the authorities got connected with me. So basically, I show everything all about child nutrition, their feeding practices and recipes that you can give to your babies. So let's start with our session. So basically here, everybody here are here, like, why nutrition is important for your child. Why are we discussing nutrition here for your babies? Nutrition is very, very important, first of all, for your physical growth, for your child's physical growth, for their mental growth, so that they age according to their biological and psychologically, they age properly. They have a better stamina, fitness, and flexibility for their daily activities. They have a better sports performance. Obviously, very, very important nowadays after COVID, they have better immunity, and it definitely helps them to prevent diseases. Of course, if you eat well, you are better on emotional health also. So these are the key points wherein, we look at why do we need to have good nutrition for kids. Now, see, whenever we go to doctor, the first thing we see is weight and height. And weight and height refers to growth. And growth is directly proportional to what you eat and how do you live, what is your surroundings. So growth is directly proportional to change in height and weight, change in your cognitive development, and change in your physical development. And everything is interrelated with good health, good food, and your surroundings. What influences your growth? First and foremost is what you eat, what your child is eating, that influences child's growth. The environment that they stay, the stress that child is having, their immunity, height and weight. Very, very important, the sleep, because every child needs to have a good sleep. Either they take a nap in the day or they sleep throughout the night. They should have a very good physical activity routine. Of course, there'll be always a difference in the growth when it comes to a girl and a boy because of the hormones that a girl and a boy carry. So that's perfectly fine. And so if you look at how do we see nutrition for anybody, like be it be a baby, an infant, pre-toddler, toddler, adults, adolescents, everybody. We always have 5 things for us. We have carbohydrates, we have proteins, we have fats, we have vitamins and minerals. And nowadays we also consider water because hydration is equally important for kids also. Now, when we say carbohydrates, carbohydrates will have all the grains that we eat. For example, rice, wheat, ragi, jowar, bajra, poha, everything which is made up of grains comes in carbohydrates. And also root vegetables. What do I mean by root vegetables? Potato, sweet potato, everything which is grown inside the soil. Every starch vegetable is also a form of carbohydrate. Proteins. Everybody knows about protein, but still milk and milk products like milk, curd, paneer, everything comes in proteins. Secondly, meat and eggs. So your chicken, fish, meat, eggs is also good form of protein. And the most commonly consumed protein, especially in India, is pulses and legumes. So all the whole pulses like moong, moot, chana, rajma, everything, along with all the dals, moong ka dal, tur ka dal, urad dal, everything comes in proteins. Okay. Now nuts and seeds is also a part of protein and fats. Why? Because nuts and seeds are also also contains good amount of proteins. But obviously as kids we eat in small portions and it has more fat, so we consider as proteins and fat. Now third important is fat. Very, very, very important component in a child's diet is fat. That doesn't mean that I'm telling you to add dollops of ghee in their food, but it is important that the child has fat in every meal, because apart from giving a good source of energy, it also provides a very good support to your digestive system. If your baby is not having, or if your child is not having enough fat, they suffer from constipation and bad gut health. Also fat improves your brain capacity and also it helps the hormones to grow well. So fat is a very, very important part of the diet. Now there are 2 types of fat that I look at for kids. One is the hydrogenated one, which we generally get from all the fast foods like chips and biscuits and dalda ghee and hydrogenated oil, which is not healthy for kids. But good fats are unfiltered oil like groundnut oil, and since most of you are from Bangalore, you get amazing unfiltered coconut oil. Then ghee is definitely a good source of fat for kids. Again, nowadays avocado is something which is readily available everywhere, so that is also a good form of fat for kids. Now, even if you're serving filtered oil to your child, because I understand sometimes it is not possible to use unfiltered oil for everything you cook, make sure you don't reuse that oil for kids, because reusing that oil creates more chemical problems in their body. So use fresh oil all the time. Okay. Last and the foremost is vitamins and minerals. Of course, loads of fruits and vegetables. Now this information was the basic. Now what are other nutrients we need to look at? Specific nutrients when it comes to kids is iron, because obviously all the kids needs to have good hemoglobin for themselves so that they grow well and they have better stamina. So hemoglobin is equally important, and to maintain good hemoglobin we need to have a good iron rich diet. Okay. So first of all, loads of fruits and vegetables, pulses. The ones who can eat meat is definitely a good source, meat and egg. Milk and milk products are not good source of iron. So doctors also will keep telling you that make sure that your baby is also having good source of fruits and vegetables. And also nuts and seeds are also good source of iron. I always say that at least one meal in a day, try to cook it in iron vessel so that at least that additional iron is going in your body. Now, a lot of people think that a jaggery, spinach, beetroot is also a good source of iron. It is a medium source of iron, but we should definitely incorporate all these things in kids' diet because the amount they will eat is like very less. So try to incorporate everything in your kids' diet. Second, very important nutrient is zinc, which no one talks about. And why am I saying zinc? Because it, first of all, it increases your kids' appetite. Second, it helps in immunity. And third, it also helps in having a good stomach health. Okay, so if your baby is having gas, constipation, recurrent stomach infections or loose motions, once they recover, make sure you give them good zinc. Now, from where will you get zinc? You will get zinc from nuts and seeds. That means almonds, cashews. Cashews are extremely rich in zinc. Okay, you will get from seeds, sesame seeds, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds. Okay, chia seeds. One very important thing I want to tell you about seeds is please don't give seeds either without roasting or soaking. And flax seeds and chia seeds, if you're giving flax seeds, please roast it well and grind and give it to your babies. And chia seeds, always soak it before giving to your babies. Don't just give raw chia seeds because it can be a choking hazard, as you cannot chew chia seeds. Rest of the nuts, it is always preferable either you soak it or you roast it slightly and then you can offer to your kids. Regarding sesame seeds, you can cook it with the food or you can roast it and add it to anything you wish to. Okay. In nuts, you can give walnuts also, you can give pistachio also. Pistachio generally we get roasted, so you don't have to roast it. Almonds is there, there's pecan nuts, and there are a lot of other things that you can give it to your kids. Okay. Now, how do you give it? You can add it into anything. You can grind it, or if they chew, that you can add it into anything. Third important mineral and vitamin, if I talk about the category, it will be calcium and vitamin D. Now, what happens is, a lot of time we think that milk that we're giving is very heavy for kids and they'll fill them up, and we remove the malai or the cream or we give a skim milk to kids. Please never do that, because the fat in the milk is actually gives you more vitamin D and good quality fat for your child's brain development. So always give full fat milk to your babies or your kids. Okay, even if you make curds, make sure you make it with full fat milk only. If you think that is it difficult for them to digest, no, it is not at all difficult for them to digest that milk fat. That is very important thing. Secondly, make use of ghee and butter at least twice a day in their food, because again it helps in a better absorption of vitamin D. Now, calcium, I'm sure all of you all know, like you get it from milk and milk products. The ones who eat fish, the small fishes that you get it in market, they're also very rich in calcium. Since all of you all in South India, drumstick is extremely rich in calcium, and also drumstick leaves. So you can always use drumstick leaves instead of any other leafy vegetables, because now summers are here, so it's difficult to find. So you can use moringa powder or drumstick leaves in your kids' diet to get more calcium out of it. Okay, so this was calcium. Very important is, one more thing I want to talk here is water. Now, why I'm talking water is because a lot of times kids, while they're playing or they're very engrossed, they forget to drink water. And also because it's summers now, never replace water with aerated drinks like colas, Fanta and Coca-Cola, and tea, coffee. That is not liquids for them. Water has their own role. I don't consider juice also as liquids, because sometimes the juices are very, very concentrated, so which tends to dehydrate your child. So don't replace your water with juices also. Yes, if your child is not a baby who, or not a kid who's going to have, he's not interested in drinking water, buttermilk, coconut water, lemon water with less sugar or jaggery in it is still a better option instead of going for juices and milkshake as a replacement of water. Please don't do that. Secondly, if you feel my child is not into drinking water, you can add some flavor like a pinch of cardamom or a pinch of ajwain, whatever flavor, cinnamon powder, just for them to have a flavor of the water and they prefer drinking it. And obviously keep reminding, like please have sips of water, or you keep offering them. Also, since all of you will have summer vacations now, the best way is wherever they are playing, keep water accessible to them so that when they see, they can drink it. Don't expect that they'll come to you again and again and ask for water. So this is one thing that you can take care of. Zinc I covered. Folic acid and vitamin B12 is equally important. But then, of course, if your child is eating good quality of fruits, good quantity of fruits, vegetables, nuts, pulses, they do get their folic acid requirement. B12 is not there in vegetarian foods. So the only thing you get B12 is from full fat milk and butter. So make sure at least you give that. Secondly, lot of fermented foods will have B12. Now, since in South India you ferment a lot of idli dosa batter, you make kanjis, and there's a lot of appams, and your fermentation happens. So that is one thing that gives B12 to your baby. Please don't use those pre-mixes at least, because you skip giving B12. Also, you'll be surprised that pickles are also a very, very good source of B12. Our grandmothers used to make those pickles and keep it in those jars and then give it to us when summers were there. It helps in digestion also, and also it gives you B12. So that is one element you can introduce in your kids' diet. Okay. Now, a lot of you have this question, and this is part of the agenda also. How do you plan a child's diet? I'm sure everybody uses Google. So you must have Googled it up, what all to give to your child. So they will tell you 3 to 4 servings of fruits, 2 to 3 servings of vegetables, and then 3 to 4 servings of cereals, and then pulses, and then milk and milk products, meat, nuts. Everything should be given in each day and plan like this. But let's be practical. I'm not giving you false hope. As an adult, can you eat everything which is mentioned in one day? Sometimes yes, some days yes, and some days no. So even kids have their own preferences. Their appetite will fluctuate in each meal. I'm not even saying day. Their appetite fluctuates in each meal. Their appetite fluctuates each day. Even they have preferences. Even they have choices. They have moods. I'm not saying that the child is picky eater as of now. I'm just talking about a normal phenomenon. So nobody can have everything like 4 servings of fruit. No child can have so much. Okay, on a normal day. So don't panic about it. If your child is eating average, like he's having 2 fruits a day, and suppose today he missed out on nuts, suppose today he missed out on a green vegetable, but he had fruits and he had potato and he had pulses, and obviously cereal is something that it is staple in our diet. It's okay. It's completely okay, because when it comes to child nutrition, we don't see per day. We always see what is the child is eating in 7 days per week. Because if in per week he's had good proper meals with all fruits and vegetables, nuts also, and then milk and milk products or meat and pulses, that's okay. Don't expect a child to eat everything in one day. One food group, if it's getting skipped in today, you can introduce it tomorrow. But then let's be practical. It is not possible that most of the days they might eat it, but most of the days they may not eat it. So this is one thing you should see when you plan a meal. Second very important meal is always serve them food what you as a family eat. I understand variety is very, very important. I understand, kids need a lot of things to have it. But then the way I make khichdi and the way you will make khichdi will always be different, though we will use the same measurement. Why? Because as a mom, you will have a different style of cooking and I'll have a different style of cooking. I want my child to eat the same taste of food that I cook for her, and she should also get used to that particular taste. So as a household, if you have a tradition that in lunch we will have rice and in dinner we will have chapati, continue with that tradition so that your child also gets used to it. If you use curry leaves and ginger and all the spices in your food, use it so that they will get used to it. Very, very important. Third important thing in meal plan is see how your child's appetite is. There are a lot of children where wherein they don't like to have a heavy or a big breakfast, but they are okay having a big lunch and big dinner and a big snack also. But there are a lot of kids, he prefers having a big breakfast but mini snacks. They prefer having good main meals. So because each child is different, there is no scientific book which tells that this child, all the kids will have the same way. So try and understand what your child wants. Okay, there will be days where you'll be surprised that they just had like very little breakfast, but they will cover up their their appetite in either snacks or lunch or dinner. Don't force them to have this much quantity of breakfast or whatever quantity they had yesterday. Maybe he's not hungry, maybe he's not in a good mood, maybe he is not well rested, maybe he's having a stomach upset, he's not not in a mood to eat, maybe some gas, maybe the breakfast is not of his choice and he's not in a comfortable zone of eating that particular thing. It's okay. You can serve a meal, obviously, because now you're in school, so he can have a snack, or he can have a larger snack when he's back home. That is okay if he can have a larger amount of lunch or dinner. So please don't start forcing them to have a particular quantity every day. Just see which meals they are more comfortable in. So this is the third point when you actually plan for your child. Most important, the fourth point is look out for the choices. Now, I don't say that if your child likes, say, French fries or potato or just plain chapati, don't serve anything else. But then as mom or as parents, you should know that these are the 5 safe foods. My child likes it. So in case of emergency, I know what to serve my child. Maybe emergency, maybe you are not available, maybe you are not well, maybe the child is not well, or any sort of emergency can come. So as parents, you should know, okay, fine, these are my kids' safe food, and now these are the foods. Like for example, tomorrow you want to introduce 5 more things, or the coming month you want your child to have 5 more things. Slowly introduce it. Don't go fast. Because if your child is rejecting something, give them some time to adjust to what they are eating, and then slowly introduce it. Don't just get overwhelmed that I am eating spinach or I am eating mango, and then why my child is not eating, the cousins are eating, I see so many kids on the social media and they are eating. It's okay. Rejection and acceptance of any food item or ingredient it's very customized with every child. You will be surprised that a lot of kids will reject mango the moment you serve them the first mango of the season, because it's been long they have not had it and they don't want to have it because of the neophobia. Like they've forgotten what mango was, or they don't want to have it. They're more comfortable eating watermelon or muskmelon or grapes or apple. Don't force them. Oh, you used to like it so much last time and then we got it for you and now you're not having. I cooked this particular dish because you used to like it and now you're not having. It's okay, as parents or as moms, even we have choices, even we have moods. Even kids go through it. Never say these kind of things because it really upsets them off. What you can do is you can just tell them, it's okay if you don't want to eat it. I made it for you. I'm keeping it here. If you wish, you can try it. Okay? And then you eat in front of them, because the modeling is the best example you can give it to your child. So this is another thing, you consider while planning a meal. And of course, the very important availability of ingredients. Don't get overboard that somebody on Instagram or somebody on Facebook is using quinoa and somebody is using like kale or somebody is using blueberries, so and the child looks so healthy. Don't go and rush and buy those things if it's not your locally grown things. Now, since I am not in India, I stay in Dubai, there's nothing called as locally grown. So whatever is available as seasonal, we will fetch it out. But you guys are lucky to have stay in India and you have so many local grown things. Very simple example, like every child will go through cold and cough during winters, and they will have viral infections because of the change in season in summers. Okay, And then all of us, I get hundreds of queries on my channel every day. Can we give ghee when they have fever? Can we give fruits and vegetables when we have, when the child is suffering from cough and cold? Can we give vitamin C rich fruits like, sweet lemon or maybe oranges or lemon? Yes, you can give, because all these are immunity boosting. Even if you not give, your child is going to get cold, cough and fever. Immunity is something that you should develop with food. Okay, now why am I saying this? I'll give you a very, very simple example. Have you ever observed why orange, amla, guava comes in winters, and why mango and watermelon is a summer fruit? Because in winters we need more vitamin C to fight with the cold and cough. So amla, orange, all these fruits are rich in vitamin C. And in summers, mango and watermelon. Why? Because watermelon is water-rich food to keep us hydrated, and mango gives our liver a very, very good support to support our stomach in the heat. Also, mango gives you a lot of energy and vitamin A for body to fight the infections. So nature has given us everything according to our body, but we mess it up. When most of your kids go ill, like suppose fever or viral infections or dengue or anything, cold and cough, we stop giving them any form of fat, no ghee, no oil, just boiled foods, just mashed khichdi. Don't do that, because when you don't give ghee, they start having constipation. When you don't give fruits and vegetables, they start having bad stomach health. Remember one thing, most of the kids, they can't spit out cough, they can't blow their nose. How the body will remove all the cough and cold is through motions. Either they vomit or they pass it through motions. So make sure your child is not constipated when he's not well. That's very, very important. And the gut health is extremely good. That will help to recover and make loads of immunity. Okay, that is very, very important. Try to give lot of vegetables and fruit of different colors. That gives you lots of antioxidants and also vitamins and minerals. Now, I want to discuss some common mealtime problems that lot of parents go through. The very important and the most common question is, my child doesn't eat enough. He looks so thin. She's so thin. She just has like half a dose. I don't know how she has so much energy. It's not that. No child can remain hungry, and I pray for everybody that no child goes to sleep when they're hungry. We all are blessed, and our kids are also blessed that we have food on our table. First of all, I also tell my daughter every day, Vihana, you are luckiest that you're getting so many things to eat. There are a lot of kids in the world who don't get to eat food. So if you don't want to eat anything, please don't throw tantrums. You're not allowed to throw food, one. And secondly, if you don't want to eat anything, we can politely say, I don't want this and I wish to eat this. Okay, so this is one thing. Please reiterate to your kids also, because all of us really work hard to put good food in front of them. If you think that your child is not eating enough, look for 2-3 days. Of course, after any infection, they will have a low appetite zone for 3 to 4 days. Allow them to recover, and the appetite will bounce back, provided you don't force feed them and you don't comment on every meal that they are not eating. And very, very important, you don't allow them to graze. Now, what do I mean by grazing? It's like, your child had breakfast and you think, oh, he didn't had enough. Oh, okay, wait, after 10 minutes you're like, you want to have makhana? Okay, no. Can I give you a biscuit? Okay, yes. He'll have half a biscuit and you're happy. At least he had half a biscuit. And then after half an hour you're like, okay, have some sips of milk, This is sometimes it happens because it makes mothers very anxious and in a panic mode that my child is not eating. If it's okay if they're having a smaller breakfast, don't give multiple snacks till lunch, because he'll be half full till lunch again. And then what will happen? He won't have lunch also properly. And then you'll be like, oh, he didn't eat lunch also today properly. Then what will happen? Then what you will do? You will keep offering some of the other things till he has dinner, and then again the dinner is not eaten to a substantial level, and your child gets used to snacking throughout the day. Sometimes setting boundaries is also important. If you feel that my child is getting hungry at 12 o'clock, but his lunchtime is 12:30, you can always serve at 12 lunch, and you can give her the snack later on also. But don't allow the child to graze throughout the day. This decreases their appetite, and also, also makes them learn it's okay if I don't have good meals, like major meals, and it's okay to snack throughout the day. And then after some time, what happens, then actually parents come to me and they say, my child doesn't eat meals properly, but throughout the day he'll keep asking me for snacks. I'm not saying snacking is bad, but you should have a control on snacking, and you should have like at least some mealtime discipline also. And this will also allow your child to understand hunger and satiety. See, here we are targeting 3 to 6 years. By 3 years, your child should actually communicate to you that, listen, Mama, I'm hungry and now I'm full. I don't want more. They can't express. Lot of kids can't express. Try to use lot of sign languages. Are you hungry? You want to eat food? You want to drink water? Are you full? Are you done? Stomach full? Every day use it if they can't express. When you do it every day, they understand when do I need to ask and how do I need to ask. Also, when they say I am done, I don't want to eat anything, remove their plate. Because when they tell you I'm done and then you keep telling, take one more bite, no, take one more bite, no, then the hunger and the satiety signals are confused. Don't do that. If you feel they will need more, even if he's coming and asking you after, say, half an hour or 45 minutes, either serve him the same thing, or you ask, are you really hungry? What do you want to say? What do you want to eat? Then you can give them a fruit or something else if they don't want to have the same chapati or dosa or idli again. But allow them to understand hunger and satiety. That is very, very important. I'll tell you why am I telling you this. You should always look at the long-term solution of anything you do rather than just short-term solution that what will happen tomorrow and day after. So if you follow these practices, your child will become a better, intuitive and happy eater in future, not a picky and a fussy eater. We as parents, we push sometimes a child to become a fussy and a picky eater. They are not born like that. They understand hunger and satiety because when they are born, either they are on formula or breastfeeding, they leave the milk or they detach themselves on breastfeeding when they are full. So sometimes it's important to understand what they also are thinking, and it's important to train them on this thing also. Okay. So why am I saying that we need to raise an intuitive eater, a happy eater? Because it's a triangle. Mom or family or parents, this is food and this is your child. If we all spend at least 4 hours eating in a day. So in 24 hours, if I'm spending 4 hours eating with my child, I want him to enjoy what I'm making. I want him to sit peacefully on the table. I want him to relish what he's eating. And it should, his heart, his stomach and his brain should feel happy what he's eating. And as mom, even you will feel satisfied. But if your child is throwing tantrums, I don't want to eat this, I don't want to eat this. If he's throwing food here and there, if you are running around with the child and throughout the balcony or throughout the house and taking the plate and running after him, if you have to take your child in the car and then make him eat in the car and look at different things, it's not the way of eating. Okay, do you eat like this? No. As parents, you might think like, let him eat today, I'll see what to do tomorrow. But this let him eat today becomes normal situation for him, and then we fall in the trap. Lot of parents have seen they allow their kids to watch mobile or iPad or television or anything, and they just keep putting food in the mouth. I understand a lot of you are working. I understand we have a very busy life. But please try to spare at least 20 minutes. Sit with your child and eat with your child. Talk to them. Involve them in your talks, involve them in your stories, involve them what happened with you. Ask them what happened with you. Tell them what you're eating. But distraction feeding is not a very healthy practice in future. And I'll tell you why. Not because his eyes are there. Why? Because he doesn't know what he's eating. He doesn't relish the taste of food that he's eating. When he goes to school, then he won't finish his tiffin and come because he didn't know what am I eating, because there is no screen. Secondly, he's used to this and he's not used to this, So the speed doesn't come. Now, what do I mean by speed is when you go to school for a longer number of hours, you don't know how to finish my meal, because for you finishing the meal is when mama or papa stops feeding me. Okay. Fourth, very important, they don't chew well, they just gulp it. They don't understand their hunger and satiety, because moment the poem or any rhyme or anything or any episode is over, they're like, I don't know what to do now. I think I'm over and my meal is done. So for them, satiety is when the TV is off, that means I'm full. And sometimes it leads to underweight and overweight also, because you don't realize how much have you had. So please, 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 no distraction feeding, at least not with screens. If you are doing so, try to fade it off slowly. Don't just abruptly, switch it off from tomorrow, because that's not going to do any good to you and your child, and you will see that both of you are in stress. Also, one more thing in distraction feeding is like sometimes, your caretakers are there or nannies are there or taking care of your child. And they feel that, the child should eat this much amount of food, however they are eating. But this is not going to be fruitful in future, because he doesn't know how much food has he had, but your nanny knows or your caretaker knows that this much food they have had with distraction. But this is not going to be helpful in future. So always look at the long-term solution. So I'll give you a very small example. Why did you put your child in NPS school, BSK branch? Because you want your child to get best of the education, so that they have a better skills in their life, better education, and they obviously get better colleges and then eventually a better job. So we all look at the long-term solution on this, right? So why don't we look at the long-term solution when it comes to eating practices, right? Another thing is influence of social media. Don't get carried away. Google is not the doctor. Please, if you have any queries, either ask a professional. Obviously, you should always check their credentials. Take help of the teachers. Obviously, they are better guidance. They give you better guidance. And of course, doctors. But don't just get carried away with social media. I understand, even I run a channel on social media, but as parents, you should see which one to follow, which one not to follow, one, and whether this particular thing is feasible for me or important for me. Because no one will show you the 100% picture. It is not possible to show everything on like 10 seconds or 15 seconds, one. Secondly, lot of people are working to earn money, and lot of people are also working with brands. So as you have to be a very, very very, very intelligent parent on what to follow and what not to follow. All of us are surrounded with loads and loads of advertisement, and especially with kids food. Like you have so many brands and so many people into kids food and telling you eat this, eat that, this is good, this is good. So I don't say this is wrong or this is wrong, but it is your choice what to follow and what to give. All of us are educated, right? Read the nutrition label. What is there behind? Is it good for my child? Yes. If it's yes, please give it to him. Now, a lot of you will ask me, can you give junk food like McDonald's, Pizza Hut, or maybe chips or burgers or chocolates or biscuits? Yes, you can give. Not daily. With my child, obviously, she also asked me, I want chocolate, I want biscuits, I want ice cream. We have told her, we keep repeating to her, every 10 days, you will get it. Okay? So have a routine. This is very important, how to unjunk the food. I don't say don't serve at all, because it is not practically possible. So first is, make a schedule. Maybe every Sunday we will have either ice cream or either chips or either burger or whatever. That is up to you as a parent, what deal you want to make with your child. Second, very very important, never give the whole packet of anything that you're serving. For example, chips or biscuit. As human being, as adults also, we don't feel satisfied till we empty out the full packet and put it in our mouth. Always serve in a bowl so you can make a portion control. Third, very important, whenever you are serving something which is not healthy, try to combine it with something which is healthy. For example, tomorrow they have a birthday party, or you have some guest over and you have served some chips on the plate. Try to keep some fruit or some yogurt dip or some cucumber sticks along with it. Most of the kids won't even pick it up. It's like you'll be like, mom, they won't pick it up. It's okay, but exposure is equally important, because they will see who else is picking it up. So you as parent or their role model, you pick it up. So next time when you do this, they will make sure that they also try it with whatever unhealthy they are eating. Okay. Also very important, when you want to unjunk things in your child's routine, never give perks as junk food. Like what happens is, you do this homework and you do this and you do this, and I'll give you a 10 rupees or a Lay's packet or a Cadbury or chocolate. Perks can be, can I buy you a doll? Can I buy you a ball? Can I give you a gift? Can we buy a dress? Or can we go for a drive? Can we play half an hour extra today? Can I give you 10 kisses today? Something like that. Always remember, perks should not be food. Okay. If you practice these, trust me, things will be much better. Okay. I think very important, last point that is there on the agenda is why we should serve family pot meal, because your child is going to stay with you at least till 18 years of age. Make different things to incorporate all the foods that you want to, but at least 1 or 2 meal in a day. Try to serve them what you like as parents to eat them. Okay. So yes, also I'll just give you quick 10 tips. Again, I'm just repeating. Show them by example. If you don't want your child to be fussy and a picky eater, show them by example. Whatever you are serving them, eat with them. Showing them by example is extremely important. Involve them in grocery shopping. Okay, involve them even if you can't involve them in grocery shopping, whenever you bring stuff like fruits, vegetables, pulses, involve them. Can we wash it? Can we put it in the container? And keep telling them what is it that creates interest. Okay, very very important. Offer them the same family food. Get creative in the kitchen. Simple thing is like, you can just cut cucumbers in different shapes and give it to them. You can cut banana in slices sometimes you can tell them to peel banana. Sometimes you can just slit banana into like slant pieces and give it to them. So it's like sometimes kids like to have creative ideas when you serve them, so that is also another option. Reward your child with love, care, attention, and anything you wish to, but not with junk food. Please, no perks as that. Also, I understand that we all do birthday parties nowadays in these food joints, but then tell them it's just once a year. It's not a regular routine, if possible. Or try to do birthday parties wherein they also serve some healthy things. So at least that is one understanding. It's not only your child, everybody gets it. Okay. Focus on each other on table. Like in the sense, just don't be with your mobile, or just don't finish your food. Like as parents, sometimes we are in so much hurry that have so much work left in the kitchen, so we just finish our food fast, and we think, oh God, I am done, let my child eat. No, you should always eat at the speed at what your child is eating, so that we can focus on them, try to talk to them, try to give them maximum attention, so that they are with you and they enjoy the food. Listen to your child. Please don't ignore what they're saying. because that is the most important thing that we need to do. Some days, since I am also a mother, sometimes I feel, on dining table having a meal conversation, it feels so good that, some days my daughter will come and tell me thank you for the food, or probably she will like something and then she will tell her dad, I had rajma and rice today, and it feels good because whenever I serve her meal, I'll tell her this is rajma, this is rice, this is cauliflower vegetable, this is cucumber, this is yogurt. So you have to teach your child, at the same time try to listen what they want to express. Important is breakfast is, for me, I always believe that as kids it's important to give them a good breakfast, so try to serve them breakfast every day. Don't just send your child drinking milk or just having Parle-G biscuits, because that's not healthy. Limit screen time, a very 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 important point, and be a very good role model. You want your child to grow as best human being, but be a good role model also when they're eating. Okay, so yes, this was my presentation. I have loads of queries from you guys, and thank you for putting your queries. I will just go through them. Very good questions. Some of them are really nice. About the supplements, should we give supplements to your two kids? See, this is totally up to your consultations call, whether it is your nutritionist or doctor. If your child is lacking in some minerals or vitamin in the body, then and if it's you think it's like, if a doctor says or your nutritionist says it's not possible to give it through diet, you can supplement. Sometimes in anemia we also say that you give additional supplement, because whatever iron they are eating in their diet, not everything gets absorbed, and that iron is also used by the body for the daily activities. So if something is lacking in their body, yes, give supplement for limited time, and then you can obviously stop it. Nowadays I also prefer giving zinc supplements, of course under doctor's prescription. You have to give under doctor's prescription. Since I know the dosage, I can do it after a very very heavy infection of stomach, or obviously loose motions or vomiting. So you can consult your doctor if my child needs zinc. Okay, this is two supplements that your child needs. Calcium, basically in Indian scenario, I don't think so we need it. Vitamin D, if your child is not getting exposed enough, you can give it to them, but of course under doctor's prescription. What are some of the strategies dealing with picky eating? I just summed up in the 10 points, so that I'm doing it. How much milk should my child drink in a day? So see, if your child is eating a good amount of yogurt and maybe cheese or paneer throughout the day, then 200 to 250 ml of milk is more than enough. Don't push in like half a liter or 1 liter or 700 milk throughout the day, because that will end up in anemia. So I don't prefer giving them lot of milk, because kids get very used to having milk as something which fills them up. It's easy to gulp, and then they no need to chew, and nobody's forcing me on that. So don't focus on milk a lot. In the sense, if you feel that your child is having 200 to 50 ml and having other milk and milk products, that's perfectly fine. What are the food groups? I have already discussed, so I'm not repeating it. If any one of you have missed it, I will save this live session on the school Instagram page. You can go back and you can refer to it. I will go on the next question. Can I give 6 to 7 dry fruits in the morning for an 8-year-old child? Yes, you can give it. Make sure you soak it and you give it to them. Can I give jam and mayonnaise? See, jam is something you can make it at home. You can find recipes on Google, and of course on my channel also if you want to go to. I don't prefer buying jams, from outside, because it has a lot of preservatives and sugar. Once in a while traveling or any emergency, it's fine, but if you can make it, it's much better. I am not against sugar, but things where we can limit it, let's do it. That's the best way of doing it. Mayonnaise, I really don't like the concept of mayonnaise, because it is hydrogenated fat and is not a good quality fat for kids. Instead, you can make cashew dips, or you can make hunkered dips, and then you can give instead of mayonnaise, or probably some melted cheese, and that will be better alternative instead of mayonnaise. How do you stop them from eating chips? Again, you have to have some boundaries. You have to talk to your kids that, can we do it once in a week and doing this and doing this? Because see, it was us who introduced all these things to them, or maybe the parties or the peer pressure and everything. But as parents, you can talk to them or give them like in limited portions, so that the quantity, the control is there. Is sugar bad for it? See, sugar has lot of ill effects, but can we totally avoid it? Let's be practical. No, but we can definitely limit it. We can limit the intake of biscuits. We can limit the intake of adding sugar in the milk. We can limit the intake of having things like jams and sauces and all these things. We can limit the intakes of chocolates and those specifically those candies. So yes, but you can always substitute some things, like if your child has a sweet tooth, you can give them like a nut and dates laddus, or you can give them sandesh, or you can give them something like halwa, or something like a sweet banana appe or anything like that. Okay, is it okay to give curds when they have cold? Yes, it is okay to give. One thing, it should be at room temperature and it should be freshly set. Don't give something which is sour. Okay, that is the best way of giving it. How to make kids spicy food is something you have to introduce gradually. You have to introduce it gradually. How to increase the spice level? Maybe you can go in my page and you can find it, because that's a very long thing to explain. But yes, all I can say is like you have to gradually increase the spice level in your kids' diet. Is Pediasure safe supplement for nutrition? I never recommend any milk additives or any supplement which you can mix in the milk or water or put it in the chapati and have it. You want a high protein supplements, you have sattu, you have dry roasted chana, you have dry fruits, you have nut seeds, you have milk, paneer, everything to give. So yes, if you want to add something to your milk, what you're serving, you can add dry fruit powder, you can add almond paste, you can add cashew paste. Why to give supplement? Because again, those supplements, as educative parents, read the nutritional information. There's so much of sugar and there's hardly any protein in it. Can you give like 30 grams at one serving? 30 grams is so many teaspoons. It will make the milk like a thick slurry. It is not possible to serve. So always educate yourself while buying anything. I'll give you a very small example how marketing alters our brain. Initially, Saffola used to say that if you eat this oil, you won't have cholesterol. But no plant fat, which is oils, will have cholesterol. Cholesterol is always present as animal fats. So this is how the marketing gimmicks work, and it is, as a consumer, it is our job to understand what to take, what to give, and how to consume it. See, having a kidney stone, I got a question from somebody. Is it okay to give Boost, Bonvita, etc. with milk? I just answered it. So yes, and even if you feel that my child likes the flavor, you can just reduce the quantity and add a dry fruit powder with it, at least to enhance the quality of whatever you're giving. Okay. He likes everything. He got kidney stone because of excess vitamins. See, this is a medical condition, and kidney stones can also happen because of lot of problems. A lot of actually factors are there, and there are multiple varieties of kidney stones. Okay, there's uric acid, there's calcium. So this is a very specific question, but having with excess vitamins, I think this is for doctor's call. I cannot comment on it unless I understand the full history of it. 19 months old does not eat, he drinks only milk. See, that's what I was telling you, that don't milk is good. It gives you proteins, calcium, fat, everything, but it cannot replace the food that should be eaten. And this is high time that you consult a professional and understand how can we incorporate different things, because too much of milk fosters or pushes the child to get anemia. Are peanut butter good for kids? Yes, peanut butter is good. You can go for the natural ones. Don't go for the ones which has a lot of preservatives and food colors and flavoring agents. When you buy, see how much peanuts are there. So peanut and almond butter is okay. Peanut butter is good in protein and fat also. That's perfectly fine. If it is not in your culture, it is not in your tradition, trust me, giving that fresh malai of the milk is also equally good to your kids. That also you can give. Don't worry about it. My child is diabetic. What should I feed in? I'm so sorry because this is a very disease specific thing and I cannot comment here because especially with diabetes, a lot of planning goes according to the sugar levels. So I would definitely recommend you to consult somebody. How much cheese and paneer should we give in a week? This is again something I cannot comment because I really don't know what all your child is eating throughout the week. One, and what are other things they are eating, in the sense what all he's eating. Like suppose are you eating non-veg also, how much milk he's drinking, and everything matters. But yes, most of you have think that we should not give cheese daily. It's okay, you can give if provided they are not just eating cheese and eating other things also. I also got one question: what if my what if we are vegans and we don't want to serve anything related to animal milk? Is it okay? See, studies are still going on and there are two schools of thoughts. One say no, for kids it's not okay, and one say yes. So it is completely your choice. If you ask me, I always say if you can cater to their needs in terms of everything in vegan diet also, and if your child is happily eating, then yes, you can go vegan. But please keep consulting and keep make sure that everything is going fine, so that you are in proper guidance even if you're going vegan. Okay. And also look at the digestion, because a lot of times when we go vegan, sometimes we have digestion problem also. So just look at everything and then go. What are some of the food combinations that should be avoided? See, food combinations to avoid is like, I don't believe a lot in it, because I believe on the scientific data or scientific evidences which is present. I understand there is Ayurveda, I understand there is naturopathy. As parents, if you feel this particular combination is not worth it or it's not healthy for my child, you can avoid it. But suppose if you say we should not give milk and salt together, then don't we eat pizza sometimes? Don't we eat paneer vegetables sometimes? Don't we eat vegetables which has cream in it? So that is also like a part of this combination only. So either you avoid everything what you are eating in this particular thing, or don't avoid, because there is not much scientific evidence. And also a lot of cooking that we do is all scientific evidence. For example, why do we cook pulses in ghee? Why always they say cook pulses in ghee? Because pulses are little heavy on digestion and it has phytic acid also, so it is better to soak them. And we always tell, even our ancestors, they used to add hing, they used to add jeera, they used to add ghee, they used to add some jaggery, or for example in South India some kokum or tamarind. Why? Because it helps in digestion. So always go with the traditional form of food, how you cook it, and that is the best way of using all the ingredients properly. Yes. Well, how much cheese can you suggest some healthy snacks? Is it okay to give bread once in a week? Yes, a whole wheat bread is completely fine to give once in a week. Make sure you can always make bread healthy, you can make it in a sandwich form, or you can add some cheese or paneer. You can always give it with a spread of maybe a peanut butter or some malai on it. So just don't give plain bread. Always put something, or maybe an omelette or an egg or something, so that we always add addition to it. How much? This is done. My son is obsessed with cream. Can I give him a lot? Because I tried getting it easier. Which cream are you talking about? In the sense, the one you add in food, or he just eats like a malai, or cream which is there on cakes and pastries, or like something we add on? Can you just clarify this? Okay, any more questions? my child doesn't eat in morning, but she's always hungry in the afternoon. Is it normal? Yeah, as I mentioned, like, a lot of kids don't have a huge appetite in the morning, but they will definitely have a bigger appetite later on in the day. So it's completely fine. As in how they go for a longer duration school, slowly, ultimately it gets better. Okay. So I think we need to wrap up this session. Thank you so much, everyone who joined this session. It was a pleasure connecting you all. I would again like to thank Pooja and Utpala, who made so much efforts, and they put up this live for you. I would also thank all the teachers and principal of National Public School BSK branch for allowing me to come here and give a session for your parents. I would again tell you, I would also like to tell you that all of you will be receiving an ebook after the session. So yes, please go through it, and thank you so much. It was really nice connecting to you. Whoever has any more queries, you can go back and listen to this live. It will be saved on the Instagram page of the school. Okay, bye, good evening, thank you so much.